morning, Melody. Good morning, sir. Maryland. Donna Perkins, Ohio.
Good morning, everybody. We got about 30 seconds. We're going to get started. Good morning, good morning. All right, we got about 15 seconds. We're going to get started. 0800, military time, right on time.
Brian Pickwick, Annapolis. John Holzman, Baltimore, Maryland. Scotty Conaway, Baltimore.
All right, 0800. Hang on, I'm going to mute the lines.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. All participants are muted.
Well, good morning, everybody out there. How is everybody? I heard people calling in from the West Coast, sunny Florida, the East Coast. Sounds like all of the OHIO is in the house today. And I want to say good morning to you. This is our 8 a.m. Monday morning Mojo call. I'm coming to you today on Flash, Verizon Wireless, on free cell phone service. Nothing sounds sweeter than free cell phone service. And add a little twist today. I'm actually videoing this, and for people who can't get on these calls, I'm going to be posting it to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is very simple. You just go to YouTube and you look for Jim Lambright, and there you go. You'll be all set. You'll be able to follow along there. You can subscribe to the channel, throw some likes on the videos, or dislikes if you dislike them, and throw a comment on there. But we do these morning Mojo calls on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays to start your day off right at 8 o'clock in the morning. And on Mondays, we do a leadership call. And that leadership call, if you're wondering why you don't have that access to that, your upline needs to determine you are as a leader. Basically, you need to ask them, and then they'll get you on the leadership line. That's locker room style talk with senior vice presidents from our company who are the best of the best in the entire industry. You can get on there and you can get coaching, live coaching from senior vice presidents in the company. It's an incredible program we have, but you got to earn your way into that spot. So today, though, I want to talk to you about goal setting. For those of you who don't know, Stacy and I are regional vice presidents in ACM. We've also been in the real estate industry since 1997. And one thing we found is that goal setting is going to get you to where you want to go. And I know you hear this all the time, and your brain's going to have a tendency to check out right now. Like, yeah, I know I need goals. But let me tell you why you need goals. See, I'm the type of person that needs scientific proof. I need proof that something works. So let me tell you why you would want to have goals. See, in 1979, there were interviewers from Harvard's MBA program. Harvard is arguably their MBA program is one of the best in the industry. Our friend Steve Cox would probably argue with that. I think he went to Yale. But the MBA program is the best of the best. And what they found in 1979 is that 84% of the graduates had no specific goals at all. 13% had goals, but they were not written down on paper. And 3%, just 3%, had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them. So in 1989, they went back, 10 years later, they went back and interviewed the graduates of that class. And here's what they found. The 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. So they were doubling their income. But here's the staggering results. The 3% who had clear, written, you heard me say that, I'll say it again, written goals were earning on average, this is the average, 10 times as much as the 97% put together. They took the 97%, put their money together, and they were earning on average 10 times the amount of that from simply having clear written goals. And so that for me was reason enough. And so personally in my life, I've done quite a bit of things with goals. One of them was losing weight. For those of you who thought I was sick, I'm not sick. I lost 45 pounds simply by creating it as a goal, writing it down, looking at it every day, and working on it every single day for a year. Lost 45 pounds and have now kept it off for almost a year. Not just crash dieting, but gone, like a lifestyle change. And I'm excited about that. For those of you who also know, on our regional vice president run, we needed 378 points in 18 days. We made a written goal. We went to work on it every single day. We had an action plan, an action strategy, and we did it in 11 and earned a trip with the company to South Africa, our entire family, for a week. So those are just a few examples of where it's worked in my personal life. And so today I want to talk to you about goal setting. Now, goal setting goes back as far as 1959. A guy named Dr. Edwin Locke and Gary Latham, they came up with the 5 steps you need for goal setting. I'm gonna run through these real quick, but I want to get to the next set that are a little more user-friendly. But this is how far back this goes. Is that 6 decades? It is. It's 6 decades. My gosh, we're getting old. All right. Number 1 is clarity. You need focused effort, okay? Number 2 was a challenge. It has to be difficult, but possible, which means somebody else has done it before, right? Number 3, commitment. It has to be something that you really want. Here's the chance for you to be selfish in your life when doing your goals. Number 4, you need feedback. Basically, you need an accountability system. And number 5, the complexity of it. It needs to be simple. Here's what Napoleon Hill said. Napoleon Hill said this. If you don't know who he is, he's the author of Think and Grow Rich, arguably the greatest business book ever written. And he said, the primary reason for failure is that people do not develop new plans to replace those plans that didn't work. It's okay to have a plan and have it not work, but the mistake is, the failure is that you don't replace those plans. In other words, you don't have goals and review those goals all the time and keep working towards them. Some people call that the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it happens all the time. You're doing it right now in some aspect of your life, in your relationship, in your health, in your business, at your job. You're continuing to do the same thing, but you're expecting 5 years from now, things to be better than they are today. In your head, you're like, oh, things will be better in the future. But you have no plan, definitely no written plan to make it different. And we're going to change that today. So number 1 thing you have to do is you got to take personal responsibility. You got to understand that the situation you're in right now, in any aspect of your life, is your responsibility. It is yours. And until you can drop your ego enough and say, it's my responsibility. It's not the government. It's not your employer. It's not your spouse. It's not your kids. It's not how you were raised or brought up. It is your responsibility, okay? Once you can say that, then you can move on to goal setting. And I got to tell you, the number 1 guy that changed my life in goal setting is a guy named Brian Tracy. Maybe a lot of you haven't heard of him, but I would say he is probably the foremost expert in goal setting in the entire world. And he actually, in fact, today, I'm going to let you Google his worksheet. His worksheet that we're going to be using today on this thing. You can just Google Brian Tracy goal setting PDF. Brian, spelled Brian, Tracy, T-R-A-C-Y, goal setting PDF. And you'll be able to get this worksheet. The other thing is there's an audio on Audible called the Ultimate Goals Program. It's 8.5 hours of drilling into you how to set goals, and it's amazing. But today we're just going to briefly go over the 14 steps, and I am actually lobbying our wonderful Senior Vice President, Ms. Leanne Gabriel, to let me teach this advanced goal setting class in boot camp on January 20th in Baltimore, Maryland. So let's talk about the 14 steps. Number 1, first thing you have to have is you got to decide exactly what you want in every key area of your life. Here's the key. Most people, when they set goals, they set a goal, but they only think about one avenue in their life. And you have to have a balance in your life. Like if your job's going great, but your marriage is crap, man, your life's crap, right? If your family life's going great, but you got no money, well, then your family life's probably not good because your family's probably suffering. Or what if you have all the money in the world, but your health is crap and you're going to die early and you worked all these years for all this success and you're going to die early. Your health's no good. So you have to have balance. And so here's the thing. You need to have goals, basically some income goals. You need to have family goals, health goals, and some type of net worth goals. And so a lot of you, because life has beaten you down, you've forgotten how to dream and to have goals. And so you don't even know where to start because you've probably never done it. Here's what he used to shake me up, and I think it works great. It's called the 3-goal method. You time yourself. You put your timer on your phone for 30 seconds, and you have 30 seconds to write down your 3 most important goals in your life. And you do it quickly without thinking about it. Whatever those are, are probably a really accurate picture of what you really want in your life. I want to quit smoking. I want to lose weight. I want to make more money. There you go. Okay. And most people will be doing those on January 1st, but you're not going to wait because you're a superstar. You're going to start now. You're not going to wait till New Year's Eve. Second thing has to be your goals have to be written. They must be clear, specific, detailed, and measurable. I'm going to give you an acronym on how to remember that in a little bit. But you must write out your goals as if you're placing an order in a factory. You have to have them in writing. So many people say, I have my goals, but they're not in writing. Well, guess what? You're in the 97%. Not the 3%. Only 3% of adults have written goals. If I came to your house right now, went to your bathroom and looked on your mirror, are your goals written on your mirror where you can read them every day? I'll bet no. I would bet no. Okay. Number 3, you got to set a deadline. See, your subconscious mind uses deadlines as forcing systems to drive you. This is great with Brian Tracy when he talked about it. See, when you have a deadline, your brain will work, your subconscious, superconscious will work to hit that goal. And a lot of times you need to have sub-goals. Like if you have a 20-year goal for net worth that you want to hit, well, you got to break it down into smaller year-by-year goals to get there. So you got your 20-year goal, and then you break it down. And we'll be talking about that in the advanced class I'm going to be teaching. Hint, Ms. Gabriel, there you go. It's a subconscious towards you. But, okay, then you have to identify the obstacles that you will have to overcome to achieve your goal. Okay, so there's the theory of constraints, and here it is the 80-20 rule. We've all heard about it, but this one's going to sting a little bit. Okay, are you ready for this? 80% of the reasons that are holding you back from achieving your goal are inside you. Only 20% of the reasons you are not achieving your goal are on the outside. What's that mean? That means the government, your job, things like that. Only 20% is the reason you're not achieving your goals. 80% of it is inside you. You must work harder on yourself than on anything. It's the 6 inches between your ears, okay? Then you identify the knowledge, information, and skills you will need to achieve your goal. And that's self-awareness. I tell you, being self-aware, if you can't be self-aware yourself, have your mentor be self-aware with you and let you help you do that. It's not fun. It's called accountability. And let them understand you and help you understand yourself. Here's a key question. What one skill, if I developed it and did it in an excellent fashion, would have the greatest positive impact on my life? For real estate people that are listening to this, it would be a skill of asking people, who do you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 months? That's the skill set. How many people can I ask that to? In ACN, it's do you ever look at other ways of making money? And if you do, then invitation, inviting them to see a presentation. That's the number one skill you could develop that would change your life with that. Okay, identify, number 6, identify the people whose help and cooperation you require to achieve your goal. Here's the thing about getting help from people. You need to be a go-giver rather than a go-getter. What have you done to deserve their help? What have you done? Like if you need a mentor and you need help, what have you done to deserve their help? Think about that. What have I done to deserve the help of someone to help me succeed? Step 7, make a list of everything you will have to do to achieve your goal. Okay, so write it all down, everything that you're going to need to achieve your goal. And here's what you're going to find. It's not as many things as your brain's making you think. The old saying is this: a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Right? You can go 1,000 miles by taking one step. Then you take another step, right? Or you can build the biggest wall in the world, one brick at a time. But the problem is you stare at the finish line, so you never get started. You never take the very first step. And that's the key to success and accomplishing your goals, no matter how big the goal is, right? I did not lose 45 pounds by losing 45 pounds in a week. It took a long time. It took a year, a painful year, but day by day, step by step. I gave up beer for a year. I don't recommend that, but actually it worked really well, but it was awful. Anyways, back to this. Organize your list into a plan. So you're going to need a plan. Here is what we know is you got to be able to prioritize the things that you need to do. And there's an 80-20 rule that says 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities, but everybody knows that one, right? But the 20-80 rule is the less known rule. And that says this: 20%, the first 20% of the time that you spend planning your goal and organizing your plan will be worth 80% of the time and effort required to achieve the goal. Planning is very important. That's a funny word in the morning. Planning is very important. Okay, you have to have a plan. So step 9 says make a plan. And the plan comes from the goal. So what you're going to do is you're going to plan each day, week, and month in advance. So here's the thing. You plan your month at the beginning of the month. And then you plan each week the weekend before and each day the evening before. If you're not that focused, you're going to have a tough time hitting your goal. And the most successful people in the world, do you know they plan their days on the quarter hour, on the 15 minutes? They break their hour into 4 different quadrants, and they have something scheduled for every single quadrant, no matter what it is. That's amazing stuff on there, okay? So the more careful and detailed you are when you plan your activities, the more success you're going to have. Step 10, we're all wrapping up here in just a little bit. Select your number 1 and most important task for the day. It's simple as this. If I could only do one task on my list, which one would be the most valuable use of my time? What is that? That's how you determine what's the most priority. If you're only allowed to do one, you have to pick that one, you go with that. That's step 10, you're going to go through there. And then develop the habit of self-discipline to concentrate single-mindedly on that one task until it's complete. Wow, we are a society of getting distracted by things and bongs off our phone and social media. I tell you, I get on YouTube, get on a rabbit hole, I'm watching cat videos, and next thing you know, where do I end up? It's crazy. So single-mindedly concentrating on your goal. Practice visualization on your goals. Step 12. I did a Mojo call before on vision boards. If you cannot visualize with emotion your goals, the emotion it's going to create in you when you accomplish that goal, you need a vision board. Most of us have forgotten how to dream. I definitely had myself, and you need to do that. So here's the goal-setting exercise, and we're going to wrap up with this. I've got plenty more to this, but we're going to wrap up here. You take out a clean sheet of paper and write down the word goals. Then you need to write out at least 10 goals, but the goals is a very scientific method in writing out your goals. When writing out your goals, they have to start with the word I. They must be in present tense. Not I will, it's I am or I do, okay? In the present tense, and then you would say it needs to be in the positive tense. So you're not gonna say, I want to quit smoking. You would say, I am a non-smoker. You would not say, I want to lose weight. You would say, I weigh 170 pounds. See how it's first person, it's present tense, and it's positive. And you look at it every single day, and then you take an action towards that every single day. And out of your 10 goals, after you write them down, here's where most people miss the boat. You need to decide upon your major definite purpose. Out of all the goals you have, you ask yourself this question. If I could wave a magic wand and achieve any goal on this list within the next 24 hours, which goal would have the greatest impact on my life? So think about that. If tomorrow you write down your goals today, and then, by the way, you have to do it today or you're not going to do it, just so you know. If I circled one of them, the one that had the biggest positive impact on my life right now, like it's going to come true tomorrow, which one would that be? And it has to be something selfish. What is it for you would have the greatest positive impact on your life? Not what's going to help your spouse or your kid. What makes a difference for you, okay? Because I promise you, if you get your life right and make things right for you, it makes it better for everybody around you, okay? Then start a new sheet of paper with that one goal in mind. Write it down clearly and in detail. Set a deadline on that goal and sub-deadlines if necessary. Then identify the obstacles you have to overcome to achieve that goal. Again, this is all in the PDF, so you don't have to memorize this, and also on my video here that I'll post. Identify the knowledge and skills you will need to achieve your goal, and then which is the most important out of those skills. Identify the people whose help you need, and get out to accomplishing something to deserve their help. Okay? Organize your list by sequence and priority, what you have to do first, and what is the most important. Make a plan by organizing your list into steps. Okay, so steps, so all this planning in place. Plan your goals to achieve it in daily, weekly, and monthly in advance. And I would tell you this, I think you need to daily time block out the time that you need for that. Let's say your goal is regional vice president with ACN, okay? Unlimited residual income. if you're going to go for that, you have to break it down. What is it I'm going to do every day, and time block that time out and set forward every single day that you're going to work on that. And then discipline yourself to concentrate single-mindedly on the most important tasks that you have in hand. And here's the thing with goals. You're going to run into failures. You're going to run into disappointments. You have to power through it. You have to, because it is not going to go smooth. Just know that up front. I'm going to stub my toe. I'm going to break my leg, maybe even. Ms. Donna Perkins broke her leg during her regional director run. Congratulations on hitting that goal, and for all the team coordinators that were promoted. But think about this. Unstoppable. You keep going no matter what. And here's what'll do it for you. Having that vision board, knowing where it's going to get you, and having your goals written on your mirror, so while you're brushing your teeth, you can read them every single morning and reprogram your brain. I've got a lot more on that, but these calls are supposed to be nice and short, and I hope you got something out of this today. I'm very excited for where our team and where everybody is going, and where my family's going, and where I'm going personally with this business. It has changed my life. And looking forward to seeing all of you out there. Comment down below, like the video. And for all of you out there today, have a great day. But take a second, man, take a second for yourself today. Be selfish. Write out your goals. Put them on your mirror. Even if it's not perfect, we're going to have a class on it and get a chance to really dig into this and make sure you have it right. So have a great day, everyone.